Hey everyone, this is Libertarian Black Man. For many generations now, cities and towns across America have been taking out the trash the same way. This is what we think of when we think of trash collection, taking the garbage can and putting it by the curb on that one day of the week that the city trash truck comes by and takes up the trash. But we also think of this: garbage cans that have been knocked over and trash that has been tossed all over the curb, all over the road, and often blown down the street. Or if it's food or something that is biological in nature, you have the flies, you have the animals that will come around it, and then you have a problem there. So the old way, the way we've been doing things for many years, is you pick a day of the week, your city picks a day of the week to put the trash out. And that means that if you miss that day, you're going to have to wait another week while the trash piles up in your home, because they may come by only on Wednesday or Tuesday or Monday or whichever day of the week they pick trash up. That means your trash often sits curbside for 12 to 24 hours. So you put your trash out maybe at 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, maybe as early as 5 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the trash truck might not come by for an extra 24 hours possibly. They can come anytime, in the morning, afternoon, or even the evening. And if the garbage sits out that long, then that means it is exposed to the forces of nature. Animals, if you have a bag that is not covered, because let's say you only have 2 garbage cans, but you have 10 bags of trash that cannot fit in those 2 cans, some of those bags you have to sit bare, exposed to the elements, and you get all kinds of animals, raccoons, squirrels. They'll chew into the bag, scatter the trash all over the place. You have weather. You can have high winds that will blow the trash can over, as you just saw, and the trash will be scattered out into the street. Or even the trash can itself can become an obstruction for traffic, as it is blown in the middle of the road after the trash truck picks it up. Maybe you're at work and you were not at home when the trash truck picked up your trash, so you might not get home for 2 more hours afterward, and the wind will throw it into the middle of the road. So you've got other problems. It's a very inefficient way of collecting trash, because you create problems when you have to clean up after the trash was picked up. Maybe the trash got scattered all over the place. For example, if you have a bag of leaves and it's a windy day and the bag gets blown over, the leaves go flying and all over your lawn after you had just got done raking up. So when you have a system where you have only one day a week to put your trash out, if you miss, you have to wait until the next week. Trash is exposed, vulnerable to the elements. This is the way we've been doing things, and I'm convinced that if the private sector were in charge, we would not have to do things this way. This part of our economy is clearly lacking in innovation, because we do it the same way every week for many years and generations. And the rules are also the same. When you can collect trash, what day of the week, and how it is collected. For example, in many cities, they set a date for when the last pickup for leaves and twigs is. In my hometown, it is November 30th. Now, they can extend that maybe a few weeks, but sometimes nature doesn't cooperate. The leaves do not fall off the tree completely by November 30th in many cases. And yet, you can't have that be collected until sometime in the spring, because in my hometown, the trash is for leaves and twigs. The last day to pick it up is the end of November, early December, and they won't pick it up again until April. So you have all kinds of rules for when trash can be picked up, how often the trash truck comes by, what can be collected. You have certain types of trash that are not collectible by the city, and you have to dispose of it yourself in a different way. So when you don't have the private sector, the marketplace working to innovate and create and develop new ways of doing things, you get the same old procedure or the same old plan or the same old way of collecting trash. And in this case, it is one day a week, trash truck comes by at any time of day. You have no idea, of course, it's up to whenever the person comes by. Trash can be eaten up, thrown around by animals, by wind, just eaten up by the elements. And then you have a bigger mess. If in fact you have trash scattered all over the road, now you got to clean that up. Now you have flies, or you have you're attracting other pests because of maybe food that was in the garbage can or the bag that got tossed all over the place. So how can we do this? We can do this much differently. If we privatized waste management, then we could have private companies serving the residents directly. The government can contract out the trash services to private companies, or the government can simply allow the residents to hire directly those companies. And then you will have much more efficient trash management. You won't have trash sitting outside for 12 to 24 hours. You could have you'll have competition with different companies competing for customers, which will bring prices down and bring the quality of services up. You have, for example, a company that says, "Hey, look, just call us," or there's an app that we can that you can download, and then you just press this key, and within 10 minutes, a trash truck or van or whatever will come by and pick it up. And you know what? This allows the city to lower taxes, because now you don't have to pay for the trash services, because now people will pay directly through the through a fee that they may pay per month or per quarter, however it's set up. Or you can still have government be involved, but to a lower extent. Instead of the government picking up the trash directly, they'll hire a company to do it for them, and it will often cost less. This is not a pipe dream. In fact, this is actually happening across the country and has been going on for several years. Cities across the country are hoping to cut their collection costs of trash through privatization. And two cities in particular, Detroit and a city in Canada, Toronto, are two municipalities that have recently turned to privatize solid waste collection, with the goal being to trim the budget by cutting the expenses like workers' health care, pension costs, and cutting maintenance costs for a fleet of collection vehicles. So people would say, "Oh, this is terrible. This is a terrible idea because no health care for the workers, and all the things that come with the government taking care of everybody is gone, and it will the services won't be any better." Well, in fact, according to Chaz Miller, who is the Director of Policy and Advocacy for the National Waste and Recycling Association, which represents the private sector waste management companies in the U.S., he says, "Hey, you know what? Things are actually running efficiently in Toronto, where half the city's hauling is now privatized, and in Detroit, two private companies are splitting the city's contract. Trash is being collected, it is being disposed of properly, and taxpayers are one step ahead of the game because they're paying less, because the government always saves money when it allows the private sector to do what they have been doing for many years." An Auditor General's report presented in early 2014 seems to confirm that the overall savings for the first year of operations was approximately $11.5 million. This is in Toronto. They are saving $11.5 million a year by privatizing the trash pickup services. And in Detroit, the emergency manager, this article is from 2015, but the emergency manager who moved toward privatization of trash pickup says that $6 million a year is being saved. And in fact, the trash is still being picked up. More households are being served, and we are not seeing too many complaints from the trash services, but we are seeing big time savings for the taxpayer. Not only do you save money, but you also have the opportunity to innovate and to develop new and better ways to pick up trash. If in fact the private sector was serving the waste management concerns of the people instead of the local municipalities, we would not be seeing the old put the trash can out by the curb, let it sit there, let it be blown around, tossed around for hours once a week. That's the old way. We've been doing it that way for many years. The private sector moves on every day. It's constantly innovating and trying to figure out new and better ways to do things. But when the government controls something, things tend to stay the same for many generations, even centuries, unless there is some big scandal that forces the government's hand. And even in that situation, you have to wonder how much is the hand of government going to be forced. So let's move toward privatization of waste management. Let the government contract these services out, or let the residents of every neighborhood hire waste management collection companies themselves. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please purchase the book, Say No to Big Government, My Case for Maximum Freedom. And please join our Twitter page, Libertarian Black Man. And we hope to see you in the next video.